All right. Good evening, everybody. This is an episode of Tear Talk. Um, you're actually meeting my co-host. This is Andre West, and you had heard his episode of Tear Talk on here, where he let you know who he was. But we're gonna go into a few questions and just give you a little refresher course about him, and then we're going to deal with some issues that me and him have been talking about off recording. Anyway, what's happening with it, homie? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, homie. I'm still out here.
For
They
sure.
ain't came and got me yet. They ain't came and got me. Look, like Paul Mooney said, rest in peace, man. If you good, they gonna take you too.
They ain't coming to get you. We ain't letting them take you back. We fighting for sure.
Man, I'm not going, man. I'm gonna hold on to the rope.
Even though they can see it on the bottom of the screen, man, go on and tell them a little brief rundown about what you done been through and how long you was gone. And yeah, man.
Man, I took the life of Antoine Thompson in 1985, 1986, really. And I just got out of jail, went back to jail, fought the system, got a 15 to life. Of course, naive, young, don't know the law, probably could have got less time, got a life sentence out the deal. Instead of going to YA, they told me I was a sophisticated criminal, sent me to prison. You know what that is. That's automatically grow up quick, do your thing, act a fool. I think I stated this before on just video, but I say it in live now, is that you walk in and actually you comfortable at home if you got heart, because you see your whole community right there in front of you. Cats that you wonder where they went to. So it was kind of easy to fall into that lifestyle of being incarcerated, of being a down homie, of being a part of the structure, of being whatever it was that made you consider it real. Like I was explaining to some people. Um, the coldest thing that we have as prisoners is ego. The hardest thing we have is judgment, because we don't do nothing but sit down and take the time to contemplate, orchestrate, and play it out. And we so quick to break bread with somebody, but then at the same time, it don't take but that one bad decision for that person to be exiled, and for us to be the ones to carry it out, and for us to be the ones to carry it out because we're exiled.
Yeah.
And then we'll move right on like it's just daily business. You know what I mean? So in those years, I did what every prisoner does. I acted up to according as far as me being a gangster crip, accepting all my homies, stand down for the cause, pushing the line, no matter what it was, no matter what the sacrifice, go to the hole, do it, get caught up, do it. Homies go home, come back. I still got top ramens in the bin for you. The Foot Locker was safe. You know, you had shoes, you had parole clothes. We all looked out for each other. Now, 30 some years into it, I started realizing something. The system is kicking our ass and we assisting them. We were so busy caught up on each other and on the other races, homie. The people that was actually our folks that we had got separated from in prison, that we had a community linked to, the brown, certain parts of the whites, the Asians. We got separated because the system allowed us to become separated. But when we started catching this, we done got old now in the system. So now that we seeing it, we try to correct ourselves. And that's one of the hardest corrections in the world. When you become classically conditioned to something, it's hard to break that cycle within yourself, because you've gained issues within yourself that don't allow you to progress with people sometimes. So with that in mind, I had to force expose myself to different people, different programs, different lifestyles, different times, and accept people for who they were, and me not let go of being me. I had to remain that same cat, but I had to learn how to walk amongst all kinds to get back to society. But while I was doing it, I looked at the system dog us out, overcharge us for stuff. I mean, you got cats that pay restitution that cost 55% of what they got. They go to the canteen. Like I said before, I'm either paying for a deodorant or I'm gonna buy a case of soups this month. I'm gonna buy a deodorant or I'm gonna buy a toothpaste. You feel me? Some dudes can't even meet their normal hygienes at one time because of what they retracting from them, what they taking from them. So when you have this in mind, you think like this: You yourself know you spent your time helping your brothers. You spent your time working IDL. And I remember seeing you with bags, and I say, "Where you going?" I'm blessing the homie. The homie ain't got this. You didn't. It wasn't the homie ain't. It was normal. The homie needs some toothpaste. The homie ain't got no soup. The homie ain't got no can. The homie need a couple of cans of mackerel or some oyster, a pouch of this and a can of that and a bag of this.
I learned that from you, though. I learned that from you when I first came to the jig when we was in Lancaster. You know.
Yeah, but that's the cold part. Is this? We learned to look out for each other when we didn't have nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Whether I had it or not. I mean, I had, but I mean, whether I had it or not. Yeah, for sure.
If a homie that was a good homie walked up and he said, "Give me a soup," right? He ain't got no soup. If you wasn't hungry at the time, you might have 3 soups in the house, knowing you're gonna be hungry tonight, right? You're gonna go in on an unlock, get that motherfucker the soups because he hungry now. Give them away. Then you're gonna go in the house and say, "Okay, that night before lockup, you're gonna go by another homie house and say, homie, slide me 3 soups till I go to the store, till in the morning."
Yeah.
And this is how generosity is, that people don't realize we got to take the time to take care of each other, because unbeknownst to society, we're not getting steak dinners.
Well, and the thing is, they don't understand that that's paying it forward, though. That's each one reaching, each one teaching. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they don't get it. They think we up in there and we just on some barbaric shit. I mean, this is something that we said before, and I mean, go ahead.
I mean, when you make 9 movies, right? You got Locked Up, you got Penitentiaries, you got all these movies in the eyes and all this orange, black. They think that everybody is in there either tree jumping each other, beating each other up, stealing from each other, and then they think that every other brother in there is Huggy Bear. You feel me? A snitch, homie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they think so. So you got the toughest people in the prison geared up against the weakest people in the prison. But then the toughest people in the prison are actually snitching and working for the police. And so this ain't what it is. And we learned that. So when you meet people,
we know, we lived it. We lived it. So yeah.
Yeah, but so many people don't look at the system for what it is.
Yeah.
A form of manipulation to control society. Yeah. I remember, man, when they had a picture up of an old white lady getting her purse took by a brother, right? And they were saying, "Do you want this in your community?" And they voted in Gray Davis, you feel me? And we all went to prison. I was like, of all this shit to manipulate people with, right? It's like a black dude stealing a white woman purse, right?
Oh,
and I'm like, wow, we purse thieves. This is what I'm thinking. I'm in jail saying this to myself. Damn, man, we purse thieves,
yeah,
right?
I'm in the county. You know, Gray Davis is garbage anyway, because he's the same dude that said no lifer would get out. And I mean, one thing I got to say, I got to give a shout out to Richard Morales, because he be standing under this picture, and I mean, you live in proof that, I mean, you had life. You served 35 years. You served way more time than you were supposed to, but you here.
Look, partners that I have, man, that's out here doing good, that's coming home, man, that's waiting to get out. I commend them. I support them, man. I love them. I give them whatever I can get. You feel me? I do whatever I can. If it's letters, if it's support. If my word ain't good enough, I'm gonna go to the people that help me, and I'm gonna get them to write the letters. But it's brothers, homie, that's coming out, man. And they showing the cause that we coming back to the communities. There's dudes that's educated themselves, man. They showing that they've advanced and grown. And like I told you earlier,
let me ask you this.
if it's 15 of us sitting in the room, I found out 6 of them was innocent.
No, yeah. See, let me ask you this though. Not to change the subject too much, but I want to talk about those that's coming home, and a lot of them, one, were incarcerated illegally, and now they're here, and then 2, I want you to talk about how when you came home, you were supposed to be provided services and you haven't received nothing. That Los Angeles County has failed you, you know?
Okay. Well, let's start with this. First of all, we got like many dudes that some was falsely incarcerated, some were considered over sentenced, quote unquote, because they might have had something maybe they should have went to a rehab for, but instead they went to prison for 40 to life. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing, Robert Downey Jr. got probation over, did 6 months, then did 6 months here. You know what I'm saying? We got police, man, that literally murder cats, and they go to court for 6 or 7 months, and then get acquitted, or they go to a halfway house that they never live at. Of course, they be at home, but they get probation. We got to do this. That they say it's a disease, not a drug. Smoking crack, got a straight shooter in his pocket, went to prison, should have went to rehab for 52 weeks, one
Yeah.
year. Instead, he sat in the county jail for 18 months and then was convicted, forced convicted, 40 to life, 45 to life, and did 17, 18 years. When they got out of prison and they finally under this, what was that Prop 47, Prop 36?
And
Okay,
Prop 57. Yeah.
when they started letting these dudes go, man, what they did was this: they didn't offer any resources. They just told, okay, go home. You know, you free. Our mistake. I'm gonna make you plead guilty to this and eat up all that back time you did and send you back into society with no resource. So with myself personally convicted of a homicide and doing all these years, I walked out. I've been out. This is closed in 6 months. In 6 months, what have I received from the state? Honestly, nothing.
And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm
Look,
laughing because they so bullshit because they be making it seem like they
hey
giving
man,
everybody
listen,
so much. Man, finish on me.
listen, man. You know how they tell you that thing. You know, when we're in prison, you hear cats, man, you go to your parole officer and every month you can get,
You get
a
money from
voucher
them
and
and all this
clothes
other
off
shit.
and
Man,
$1,500 here and they got $3,500 sitting for you and you can get some clothes vouchers and they gonna hook you in the job and you're gonna work with them, get your vehicle. Okay, I'm gonna start at the beginning. I'm in such bad shape. If it go to them, I'm getting everything in reverse. You're supposed to get out and get your birth certificate, social security card, California ID, driver's license, right?
yeah.
I'm probably one of the few parolees, man. I had a driver's license with no birth certificate, no. I just got a social security card 2 days ago, right? And I'm looking at this like, wow, okay. I called the parole officer and said, hey, man, look, I'm supposed to get SSI, right? I did all the paperwork in the pen. He said, yeah, man, I'm going to get back with you. Didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. Called him up one day. Hey man, when you coming through? I got an issue with you. He said, okay, come through. So we talking. I said, look, man. He said, man, I'm gonna contact the prison. I told him who to go to. He came to see me. I said, man, did you get the information? He said, well, she sent it, but the email won't open. I need to go back to my office and recheck it. Then he said she resent the email. Now I called him the other day from an Obama phone.
Yeah.
To tell him this is my new number. He answered the phone on the first ring. I said, it's me, Wes. I'm in traffic right now and it's raining. Boop. I ain't heard nothing from him since. Because he know, man, listen, these people, man, don't get me wrong. You can run around and obtain things that you need. I'm not saying it's impossible. But you have parole system doing something. Amity is making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of us right now. And they only a drug
Who is
program.
this?
So somebody,
What are they called?
Amity, they are
Amity?
the they're the sponsors to the drug rehab programs, right? For these transitional houses. Most transitional houses got Stop, Amity, and a few other ones that they go in and they supposed to pay your fees for you living in these transitional
They're your
houses, and
sponsors.
they make money. Yeah, and they make money. So dealing with them, right? They getting hundreds of thousands of dollars for a drug program and reentry, but they really don't set you up for society. They are a drug treatment program. So if you don't have no drug treatment issues, really, you just there. So all that extra money they getting is provided for your reentry or your reestablishment into society. They getting it, but you don't see it because it doesn't come to you. So we're looking for programs like yours and others programs, and we're looking for emergency interventions, alternative lifestyle stuff, all this stuff that they coming up with to divert money away from us. Now we have emergency intervention. You have helping the people. I have other people that have insured lifestyle living. We trying to step into play and help people that's really coming out of prisons, homeless, and other things like that. but we're volleying for the funds to do it because a non-reentry program is getting all the reentry money. So the parole officers don't have to do nothing. All he has to do is make sure that you where he say you at every 2 weeks when he come to see you, right? Or once a month. And as long as I think so many dudes spend so much time running from their parole officers that they're not used to it when you come to them and you confront them. And see, when I keep confronting them, I can be aggressive talk sometimes. I know that I'm not the normal individual, but I go to him and I just have passion in what I say. And expressing myself, it might seem aggressive, but it's actually just, for a fact, I know you ain't gave me no money. For a fact, I know you ain't helped me get my SSI. For a fact, I know you ain't helped me get my driver's license. Look, man, he gave me a paper and they rejected the paper and said, "Who is this?" I said, "It's my parole officer." He sent me down. He sent me down to, homie. He sent me down to DMV with an application verifying who I am and that I am his client, and with a call with the California, sheriff's stamp on it.
Yeah, with the seal on it.
The lady looked at it, slid it back under the little glass, and pulled her mask up, right, and was like, "Sir, can you please bring me back?"
Bring me an official document, huh?
So I pulled out my CDC ID card. I say, "I got the most official. Look, this is the most official document. Listen, man, if you think I'm joking, I'm finna give you a real bar of old history."
For sure.
I see. Look, I slid this across the table.
See,
she looked at this.
That's that Vacaville one.
Yeah, this is the last one I had. Dog program. I was a dog trainer. That's the last one I had. I made it there and was a dog trainer and loved it. Left from there, and thanks to all the brothers that was involved in that. And I don't just mean our brothers, I mean all the brothers that was involved in that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that you got to go to that program, man, because I remember how they got your ass out of Quentin, and I had heard, and I was like, "Oh man, they trying to cross my big bro, man. God damn it."
They did me bad, man. But hey, it was good though. You know what I'm saying?
It was a blessing, though.
Look, man. You know how they say one door shut and another door open?
Wide open.
I jumped through the window.
Just in case somebody was standing on the side of the door.
Man, listen. I seen a crowd, right? Yeah, so I went to the side. Hey, and I looked like Martin in Life when he took that pie.
Yeah.
Except I just climbed on up in the window and got in, and said, "Look, it got in the bunk like it was mine, and they never threw me out." You feel me?
Oh, man, I'm so happy they let your ass come home, bro.
Hey, but on a real note, the idealism of it is this, man.
Yeah.
People in society today have needs. People coming out of incarceration, homie. The average dude, even if I don't know it, it's a level of PTSD. Everybody flash. Everybody sees something, homie, that if you was in the pen, homie, you're going to see something that's going to push your mind to something every now and then where you say, "Oh, okay," and you kind of on your alert.
Yeah, it's a trigger, yeah.
I was on a date with a female not too long ago, and she told me, "You're very vigilant." And the only thing I could think of in my mind when she said it was, "Motherfucker, I was in prison for 30 years, got to see everything around you. You know what I'm saying? Your head on a swivel."
Sure.
Or it's gonna get knocked off your shoulders. So this is what we are. And getting away from that is certain things that maybe we need to adjust more to be around. But we don't receive the resources to get used to that. We get comfortable by being in contact with each other. I can talk to you over this, and I can feel more comfortable than I can in a room full of all kind of people, priests and doctors and lawyers, because of the shared experience of, I know that you understand what it's like to go through that, as opposed to some people that don't have no understanding of the community, no knowledge of what we've been through, and they're actually just critics of what we lived like. And some of them assume that they understand how we lived, and they'll diagnose you and all that and tell you what's wrong with you,
but won't give you no help. So my thing is this, though, and this is for society, really. They really need to understand what you're saying, because for a person that's done 35 years, 26 years, 17 years, 12 years, 5 years straight, no matter what it is, if he comes home and then the people that said they was going to help him and give him some type of opportunity give him nothing, then what kind of resources and recourse do you leave him? And I mean, my folks in front of me, Andre West, you know, yeah, he got support group, you know, he got a support system, but he shouldn't have to fall only on that support system, because he is in that marginalized small percentage that has a support system. Most people come home, and after you've done so much time, you don't have a mom or a dad, or you don't have siblings. You don't have nobody to go home to. You probably burned your bridges, possibly. And the nature of your crime could keep you away from your family. So when these people, you know, and they get money, this is the problem that I got. These people, a lot of these people get millions of dollars. Listen to me, America. They get millions of dollars to give out funds. You know, me and my folks, we have a homie, and we just gonna call him Wicked. And he was a part of this Amity program, and they kicked him out on the streets. And this is a person that just came home from life, and
within 60 days.
Yeah, they just threw him out for no reason, you know, because they fucked up. So now these are the people that when you come home, they tell you that they're going to give you bus passes. They're going to give you clothing. They're going to give you vouchers for food and to go get
work
your
clothes.
ID.
Work clothes, interview clothes, interview stuff.
They're going to give you money for work belts and tools and all the stuff that they promise you, because even though we be laughing at them dumbasses who tell us we gonna come home and we got this $3,500 waiting for us at parole, we do know we have these corporations that are waiting on us, because they have us get contacted prior to coming home, and then when we come home and you like, I mean, hey, I need some help. Who helped you? Your mama, right?
Man, come on. Moms, a few homies, and a few, you know.
Yeah, me. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. So with all of this in mind, right? If you call the Coca-Cola company, right? But if you live an hour away, and that's the bonded company that hires ex-felons, right? So that's where the job is at. So you got to find out how to ride bus, take Ubers, and all this, right? First of all, take Uber, you need a credit card, or you need a bus pass or something. Yeah. But one thing about it, if you don't have no funds, Uber ain't taking you. If you don't have no if you don't have no funds, Uber ain't taking you.
All right, he gonna join the interview.
Hey man, that's my little partner right there.
Yes, he over here whining and
the latest and greatest.
Yeah,
but if you don't have certain things, it's still impossible for you to get that job done and get to that job. It's still impossible for you to make that move. So now you I'm set up to fail. So you in that box. You in that box of people that can't get out because of everything is shut down, everything is moved back. You're waiting on this door to open, but this door closed, that door is closed, this door is ajar, but the wrong person send you to another office. I need to go see him. No, this is not the office. Look, man, it's so bad. This is free phone. And I can't get the tablet to go with it because supposedly somebody got a tablet in my name. So I'm not tripping, right? I don't care.
But how you not tripping? How you motherfucker got a tablet in your name and you've been in prison for 35 years?
Listen, man.
I don't understand how that's just so hard to figure out.
Listen, this is what I said, right? That's like when I went to DMV and they said, well, look, before we get your license, you got to pay a $55 ticket, right? I said, where I get a $55 ticket at, right? So dude, he played it like a game, right? I guess he thought I was going to say something that would make me connected to the ticket. So he said, well, man, in 1992, where you was at? Prison. so he said, oh, you wasn't in Lancaster in 1992? I said, no, I wasn't in Lancaster. Prison wasn't open yet.
Yeah.
So he said, no. So he like, no, man, you got a ticket in Lancaster in 1992 for some kind of traffic ticket. I say, man, listen, when I went to prison, Lancaster wasn't even existing yet. they hadn't decided to put the stick in the ground to make it Lancaster. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. So we went through that, right? And then that was probably the only headway victory I think I got, and that's because at that point I was able to bid for my license.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, bro, every victory, I went to SSI like 4 times. You feel me? I was getting on the phone 3, 4. I was telling you, I'm on the phone for like 8 hours just sitting, and then the phone hang up and hang me up. I called the parole officer, told him, hey, man, I'm having a problem with SSI. Man, you think you give them a call and verify who I am so I can get a social security card? I'm trying to get a bank account, start working, get with the credit union or something.
They don't care about none of that.
He said, yeah, call me back. He worse than us. He got a voicemail that hasn't been set up yet.
You hella stupid.
But it's real. Like, it's real. If I call him right now, it say the person you calling have a voicemail name goodbye. It don't say like send a message. It's goodbye. I'm like, wow, okay, that's new. You know, it's like that's new. So it's good. You feel me? So I did it myself though, and I received it. Now I'm working on the birth certificate. Birth certificate, $28. I'm probably the only person in California probably done spent damn near $200 on a birth certificate.
Nah, I spent about 80, but it ain't that bad.
Okay, well, I kept going. I done went online and bought 2 by accident, didn't get them. I done went in the place because people out bought one. Mine went behind my back. She tried to buy one, didn't get it.
A lot of it is scams because that's how I paid the $80 for nothing. I didn't get the. I got the birth certificate because my wife found it in one of my little chests that I got, little key lock things. But
well, wildly coincidental, that's how I wound up with mine. So I didn't get nothing for what I spent. Having to find the old one that they say was no good.
Yeah,
and I use that, So it's like it's so much stuff that's not allocated to us that we're supposed to have through funding, especially like they just discharge you from parole. But there's so many things that you were supposed to receive while on parole. And then coming off parole, it's even more stuff that's supposed to be allocated to you to make sure that your transition, your success is guaranteed, that we fighting for, that we don't have at our disposal. We don't even have a life preserver to throw in the water to pull nobody in with, because they hold on to everything on the ship and we all sitting in the water.
Yeah.
And this system is really the Titanic. It's already sunk. It's a little driftwood out there, and we hold on to it. We really hold on to it. And as time progressed, like the joke is this, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna hit a bank, man. Cats is like, the joke is they gonna drive me back to crime. You know what I'm saying? Knowing we ain't going that way, but it's the only way to vent being so mistreated intentionally by a system that you preach reform, but yet and still you don't practice reform in the proper manner.
You got to remember though. So it's also it's a bait and switch, because they preached it, but then they never expected over the long haul people to do it. They knew that when they put that R on the system, and what was that, 18, 19 years ago, they put the R on there. They knew that it was going to take that long before they started seeing any kind of change if people were changing, because rehabilitation doesn't happen overnight. So the rehabilitation in you and everybody else that started forming, and all the courses and all the stuff you started doing to change, accepting responsibility for your crime, the nature of the crime, sending victims letters or whatever, people starting to see you for what you are, and them they starting to represent you, sending in letters to help you get up out of there. And like, now that it's happened, now they like a fighter in the last seconds before they go down. They drunk and they trying to hold on to, like, damn, what do we do? Because,
and that's really where we at. We really in like a we in that octagon, right? They kick fighters, but you ain't never did no kick fighting in your life, right? So you just in there with your fist balled up. and then this dude come here, right? And he jumping in circles and shit, kicking the air and get these windmills up by your face, and you looking at him like, for real? Okay, well, let me go grab his stick right quick. And next time you jump up and spin, I'm gonna put you out your misery because I ain't your bitch. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we up against. This is who we are, and We don't have no control over how they treat us, but we have control over how we react to how they treat us. And that's what we function from. We function from being in the most adverse conditions that we can be in, that we found a way to manage. So now they've thrown us in more adverse conditions, but they don't realize these adverse conditions that you put us in, we long for these type of problems because these are free people's problems. So
Basically.
if I can't find a way around this, I shouldn't, let alone be in prison, I shouldn't be on the planet. I should be in space somewhere. So I'm going to find a way to survive as a citizen with or without their assistance. And as long as we have each other to grasp to, we have a grassroots group that understands the foundations, the real best teachers, the real best critics, the real best psychiatrists, the real best clinicians is the people that totally experience it. We've had to sit down and counsel each other in bad times. We've had to sit down and bring each other through some of the worst things it was. So we understand loss, we understand gain, we understand disappointment, we understand rejection, and victory is so shallow that we tend to downplay victory a lot of times when we have it because it's so shallow and comes so few with the life we've lived in the system. So we learn how to accept that kind of, how they say, modestly. So I can take my victories modestly, but I take my failures with pride because sometimes you expect to fail dealing with the system. So if it's like, yeah, you know, if I'm falling and if he fall and land next to me, that's victory. Even though I hit the flow, he hit the flow with me. But that's victory because I didn't fall without taking the system with me. Because the system will send you to your knees, like you said. CDC added an R, homie, for $1 billion for 10 years. Then when they got investigated, they took the R off. You feel me? Now they're taking the R back off because everybody said, well, you ain't rehab nobody. And these dudes are getting out telling us you ain't rehab nobody. Because prison is not like YA. There's no itinerary set to help anyone do anything. You're doing it at your own will. And if you're in the wrong prison, there is no programs. You know that. Certain prisons, there is no. So you literally have to kind of barter to, hey, can I get down here to this joint? Can I get down here to this prison? I mean, it's funny to hear dudes say, can I go to this prison and raising their hand, waving, but literally cats is raising their hand, hey, man, can I go to San Quentin? Hey, man, can I get to Folsom? Because you heard Folsom got a welding trade that you're trying to get in, right? And then when you ask for it, they say, yeah, we're going to put you up for Folsom. And then they send you to Susanville that don't have nothing.
Send you to Chuckawalla or something.
Yeah, they sent me to Chuckawalla, so I'm on the yard
Middle
watching
of the
lizards
desert
carry
with
sticks.
nobody. Exactly.
Look, I'm watching lizards carry sticks in their mouth.
Exactly.
So now now I'm sitting there like, I go to Ironwood, they don't got nothing there. I'm like, what am I going to do? I asked to go learn automotive and do disc brakes at CMC, and I wound up at Ironwood.
You already know that's how you do it.
But this is how we treat it. So we take that adversity, homie, and we read books. We read about it. We watch it on, look, we find that channel that show like tail fins and chrome about cars, and you just learn the car while you're there, you feel me? On top of what you may have known on the street. And then you run with it because that's the best we can do. So we pretty much rehabilitate ourselves. We pretty much put ourselves in a better standing. And the system is not helping. The system charges, the system whoop us. I mean, look, man, you awarded the court when you get there, but if your tooth hurt, they charge you $5 and then put you on a waiting list that's 1.5 years long for your tooth hurt. But they wouldn't give me no toothpaste. They wouldn't give me no mouthwash.
Or when you fill out that medical form with that sore throat, you're going to go through the whole cold and catch another one and go through another one before you get seen.
Look, man,
the first one that you're going to need help for.
And then when you go in and you tell them, look, man, my throat was hurting right when I filled that out. But now my head hurt. They say, well, look, you got to do another slip.
Most definitely.
But you got, well, look, you need to take the slip with you, sign up, and we'll try to call you in 72 hours. It turns into 3 weeks.
So now let's talk about this. Hold on, let's talk about this. being up in them prisons, you know, I know you done spent a lot of money because me, myself, let me see that bag. I was really literally going through shit, right? And I don't know if anybody out there understand what this is, right?
No.
Hold on. This is all green dot cards.
Yeah.
This is a bag of green dot receipts, bro.
Hey, listen.
So that's
go back. Listen, man. Green dot, money orders, JPay papers. Look, man, you look at it, and when you look at it, you say, I remember when it was just money orders, right?
Yeah.
And checks. And I had these envelopes, right? That like it's, and I'm looking like I had like damn near 35 years of checks and money orders, bro. That's like a suitcase full of bull crap. So when I looked at it, I opened it up and I was gonna get rid of it, right? And a dude looked at the envelope and it was like different names and addresses on it. Right? He said, "Man, that's from like 1986." I'm like, yeah, man, you know, because you know when I first went to prison, it was like I get out, I'm gonna hit the homie back for this $50, right? But they wasn't tripping. It was me in my mind, right? I'm gonna hit the homie back. Until over the years, I really looked and shit. The homie done sent me down there $30,000 in money orders and JPays, and then look, and then when it switched to getting green dots and all that stuff in JPay, I ain't gonna never catch up.
Man, look.
So
I started to add that shit up, and then my wife, she was like, "Well, you know, each one of them is like $500 minimum, $300." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not even finna try to add this shit up. It's too much money. That was just wasted."
I quit. Listen, I quit adding because it was like that's what it cost us. Look, I used to tell the homies, "Look, man, mine's everybody. If I don't have it now, ain't gonna be nothing to come home, right?"
Yeah.
So those fives and those threes and those 150s and those sixes and the hustle and the other monies and giving the homies something and getting a package because think about it. You talking about this JPays and money orders and green dots and what about the packages in between?
Oh, I know shit. What about like me? I was bougie in prison. I didn't go to chow hall, but to say hi. I didn't eat that shit. So I mean, every month I 220.
This is what
220.
But this is what I'm saying. If a cat spending $300 on a package every quarter, right? Then he getting a package halfway through the quarter and somebody else not. But then you still saying, okay, this month I need to spend about $300, especially if they got a food sale, right? I'm gonna max out the stove, then I'm gonna buy something, then I'm gonna put the giveaway stuff. I'm maxed out. Come on, man. You talking about in 3 months, man? You spending like $1,500 every 3 months.
Yeah, just to survive.
And
in the place where they say they take care of us, and we got the best meat and they feed us just so good, you know.
Listen, man, I'm still waiting on that first sirloin steak they give you when you get to the pen. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, look, I want an orange juice. Look, hey, I remember the first time dude slammed that pitcher on the table and the juice shot up out the top of it and splashed on the table. I was like, "What is that?" He said, "Shit, that's the juice for breakfast." You just pour everybody in the cup and then get up and go. You feel me? It's like, but the things that they said, don't get me wrong, I did watch food decrease, but it's never been what people think. It's never been that good.
No, it was good. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Even when I first started, it was good.
Yeah, it wasn't that it was ever bad at the beginning.
Nah, it's horrible now.
But it's ferocious.
Man.
Listen, man. I went in there and like, dude said, man, they giving up potatoes, right? They sped whipped potatoes for so many years. Or butter noodles, right? I just went to a place the other night and I didn't know what to eat, man, because I don't eat butter noodles no more. I don't want a whipped potato no more in life. You know what I'm saying? I can't eat a rice noodle no more because we ate Asian meals like we was Asians. You feel me? Trying to avoid the black meals. Look, man, hey, man, a cat done ordered squid, catfish, mackerel. Hey man, look, ill. You know what I'm saying? Trying to avoid the norm. You feel me? Because it
Everything,
was
real shit.
so. So we made ourselves chefs on the experimental tip, and you got to look at what it is, man, for what it is, bro. We did make it through the system, but now we got brothers and sisters coming through the system. You know, black, brown, and white alike, and they coming out into something, homie, that they have little to no idea what we've experienced because you have some people that's just happy to be out, so they glorify everything in freedom. When dudes come in, they don't want to tell you how hard they have it, so they glorify everything that was on the street. So you leave with this facade of what society is doing and what the CDC is doing, right? They see a dude in shape and don't realize you didn't get in shape because of CDC. You got in shape because that was part of your willpower to survive. You didn't grow and prosper because CDC took care of you. You grow and prosper because you seen the crap they were sending us through, and you was able to stand up under it, stand up straight, and not be broke by that.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that people think, yeah, CDC did something for us. It made us strong as hell because they put the weight of the world on your shoulders and make you function up under it. They put every adversity from every prison you could think of in your face and make you function up under it. You feel me?
Excuse me. We have an interloper here.
Hey, that's all good, man.
She been trying to get my eye. I put the camera on the heifer, and now she want to go down.
Hey,
Let me.
I'm getting a battery low symbol, right?
No, I'm finna. We gonna end right here. But what I was finna say
Okay.
is, I'm a